at the meat. What is it? Because not all the butcheries are kind of like awesome, right? There are butcheries also about voro. So I got to understand voro, so it's cheap, what they put in there. And I'm like,
how would you voro also now?
no, I do eat voros, but I look. I'm like, which one is the one that I know is as an original meat, right? It's a little expensive than the cheap one. The cheap one, you bonakala kare grayish. Khona le some dinama tse ding tse di kentswa mo.
Ke bone mabane. I was like, no, Charlie.
Yes,
no.
Those are the ones. Yes, then don't buy those.
It's got like fats.
Like they put fats, they put body they put all sorts of stuff in it.
Great,
ba etse voros ba kenye mo bang itole hore ke sa 5 rand voros ya teng like furala everywhere.
Wow, man.
So I got to understand that part. And then there was while I was there, at least it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
150 rand a week. So 600 ka kgwedi.
Yo. Welcome to it. This is another Free Ride podcast. I'm so excited. I've got an amazing lady in studio, man.
Thank you.
Oh, man, I am so happy. And today is another full blast episode of the Free Ride podcast. Thank you very much to everybody who keeps liking the show, who keeps chatting on the show, commenting on all our social media platforms, man. I see all your comments. I can't keep up with all of them, but I do appreciate your feedback. And so today I've got an author and a relationship coach, Mjolo, and all sorts of stuff. Relationships are very difficult, man. So I've got a person who's going to help us navigate through our very tough relationships. Oh, Susan Moyo, how are you doing?
I am very well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so grateful.
Looking beautiful on a Sunday morning, so chilled vibes.
so chilled. You're not looking bad yourself.
Oh, thank you, man. I'm so excited to come to your home. It's a beautiful home.
Thank you.
You were just explaining to me that it's like a farm style house, like one of those Cape flats.
Yeah, Cape Dutch
housing with grapes just dripping on top. Oh my word, that's so amazing. I love
my space. I love my home.
Yeah.
It is amazing.
But you look like somebody who's very spiritually in tune with yourself, eh?
I am.
Yeah.
It didn't start like that.
Okay.
It really didn't. I was gonna who's doing things lication way.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Until my mom died.
Oh, really?
My mom died in 2020 and she was my cheerleader.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
She was my cheerleader. She was my friend. I'm the only child.
Wow.
And that was a shock to my system, you know.
Yeah.
And she wasn't sick long,
Okay.
right? And she always has said to me that she was praying, because I'm the only child, that she doesn't get sick that much, so that, I don't get to struggle and I don't get to have this, when somebody passed on, the one that's very close to you, you go through these challenges. You don't understand what's going on. Emotions that are roller coaster. One day you okay, the other day you're not. So for me, it was really challenging. It was a challenging until I had an awakening. Long time ago, if somebody was going to tell me about an awakening, what that was, I was not going to understand a thing. Until I went through it.
Yes.
That thing, it is a journey. It's a journey that a soul goes through. So your soul gets awakening.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, we go through something they call a journey of life, a journey of soul.
Yeah.
That awakening happens to you. It's not something you plan.
Yeah.
You wake up one morning and you are awakened from the sleep.
Sure.
It was like I was sleeping all my life until I was in an awakening position. That is a spiritual journey. Like your soul, you are awakened. Abanye ba re ke ukuthwasa, ukuvuka, all those things, right?
Yeah.
For me, it was something that was planned for me. Every single person has got that journey to walk.
At some point in your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
You get awakening. Some other people that awaken don't understand. I didn't understand what was happening to me. I was looking myself in the mirror and I'm like, who's this? Who are you?
Yeah.
I don't know who are you. I was just imagine I've been looking in myself in the mirror for the past whatever years. I'm not gonna say my age.
Yeah. Okay.
I stay young for a while. So I've been looking in the mirror with people for all these years. But that day I looked at myself in the mirror and I'm like, who's this? Who are you?
Can't recognize yourself.
I couldn't recognize myself because my soul now took over. Right? And when that was awakened, my soul, things changed. My life just changed completely, right? Things that I used to love. I will drink a glass of wine once in a while, and go partying, and those things change.
What?
My soul was like, that's not good for you. That you need to leave. That's not good for you. And if you force yourself to do those things, you see flames. Yeah.
And people also, you started discerning yourself from people?
Yes. Or people start, because you're not in the same path as you are, they fall off.
Okay.
It will be something like, oh no, I'm not interested into this anymore, right? Or if somebody you call, I'm busy. That's okay, right?
Yeah.
It's those people that will not be able to join you into that journey you are at. Things change. They change drastically. And it's good to have a spiritual teacher, because if you're not aware of what was going on, I didn't know what was going on, I know that things were changing, but I didn't know what was changing.
You couldn't explain it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And your soul will lead you to spiritual journeys. Just like I met you, will lead you to people that will build you, or will teach you a lesson, right?
True.
In a spiritual journey, there'll be people who are horrifying. You look at this person and say, okay, this person is really mean. But you need to look at the lesson. Why is that person in your life?
Yeah.
You look at the lesson, forget about how they are. Yeah. Look at the lesson that they're teaching you. It's either they're teaching you about yourself, things that were happening to you in the past. How do I gain how to look at other people's perspective, right? Their journey is totally different from yours, right? So what is it that he's there or they're there to learn? What am I learning from that? Because a spiritual journey is about the human soul. It's about yourself, right? To go deep inside and look at your faults. What is it that you need to change? Like I was saying, I was drinking wine once in a while. That needed to stop. And I needed to drink water more.
Yes.
That was the lesson, right?
Wow.
And I needed to meditate. I never knew what that was. I know praying, but I didn't know to meditate.
What's
What
the
is
difference?
it? So the meditation is, it's not too different, but it's different because there's mantras that you talk to yourself about. Most of the time when we pray, we talk to God. Directly,
or through
right?
Jesus Christ.
Yes, right? Well, whoever that's this power you perceive them to be, right? And with meditation, you become silent. You just go deep inside and you understand what is going on about your own self. What am I feeling? You see, people don't want to go deep down inside and understand their feelings. They run away from them.
True.
They don't want to feel anything.
They don't spend time with their feelings.
With themselves.
Or understanding themselves. Yeah.
Yes. So meditation is just being silent and to be where you need to be in that space, right? To be present, right? We mostly think about the past or the future.
True.
We don't want to be in the present.
It's so true.
Yes, you need to be right now. Right now is the present where I am with you talking.
True.
That's the present. I need to savor this.
Yeah.
I don't have to think about what's going to happen about this. Yesterday, what was happening with yesterday.
True.
Right?
True.
And the other thing that spirituality teaches you is when you had issues with your friend, your family, whoever, right? At that particular moment, we had an argument. We had a difference of opinions, right? We had to solve that now.
True.
If you've hurt me now, I need to tell you now that I don't appreciate what you just said. This hurt me, or this made me feel whatever. Those are my feelings. It has nothing to do with anybody else, right? Yeah. We need to solve it now. But if you hold on to those feelings for years and years and years and years, and then 2 years later, you were thinking that me and you are okay.
Yeah.
2 years later, when something happens, it's like what happened 2 years ago. Now you're stepping back into the past.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We needed not to do that.
Sure.
Right? Because when you step back into the past now, it brings back all these issues that are unnecessary.
That have never been dealt with.
True. Right?
Yeah.
And the other part of spirituality that is so great is you don't hoover. You don't keep things inside. You need to deal with them at a particular time, in the present time, and let them go.
Yeah.
Right? If you hoover things inside, they become something they call a wound.
A wound?
Yes.
Okay.
It becomes a wound deep down inside and you didn't deal with it. Yeah. And then one day in a mall, somebody does something and you freak out.
Triggers
that wound that you didn't deal with.
Just.
Right?
But is it because maybe growing up, you know, things like self was not really taught at school.
No.
Everything was external, nothing was internal.
Yes.
Even if you did biology, it was just maybe to describe maybe your heart, your brain, but it didn't really teach the self or the self-appreciation. So we didn't really understand it.
Yes. And also the other part is to understand the mental issues.
That's
right?
also true.
So to go, I mean, the whole human being is mentally, physically, and spiritually.
Yeah.
Right? It's a whole human being. So with us, guys, see, when you start talking about, okay, I'm hurt, especially if you're a boy child.
Yeah.
Right? I'm hurt. It's like you're weak.
True.
Right? You shouldn't feel anything.
Yeah.
This is the reason why we grow up with these robots of men. Right? They don't feel anything because they were never taught how to feel. You know, as I was telling my friend the other day that, one of my clients and a friend, is a bizarre combination, but
Okay.
That a child is born. When a child is born, is pure.
Yes.
Right? And then they come into the world and they need to be taught things. One of those things to adapt is emotional well-being.
Yeah.
Right? And if that child at age 5 is not taught any feelings whatsoever or any journey of the human soul or the internal being. That child grows up, actually gets stunted to that age 5.
Okay.
Emotionally, they don't grow, right? They will grow up to be this man, 30 years, who's got everything, has got a car, has got a house, got beautiful children, but don't know anything about emotional well-being, right? When there is anything that is not, they're not interested into it, they don't want to talk about it, it's either they sulk or they run away.
Yeah.
Right?
Or they find substance abuse.
Yes, or they find some other means to numb the pain.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Instead of them going deep down inside and say, actually, what's going on here? What am I feeling? Right? Because they don't know that. They were never taught that. So that's a problem. Right? And when they are older and you said, okay, go deep down inside and find out what's going on inside. They don't want to do that. Go to a counselor. They don't want to do that. Right? And it becomes such an issue. And remember, when you don't deal with your emotions, there's wounds. True. Right? Now there's like millions of wounds that you need to deal with. Yeah. Right?
That you just covered up.
You covered up. You covered up. They buy cars, they buy this, right? And then also they end up, because the pain becomes too much, they go to substance abuse to numb that. True. Right? And it explodes. Eventually it's going to explode. With spirituality as well, is all those wounds that are not dealt with, they become shadows.
Okay.
A shadow is a wound that is there, that stays there and never dealt with. It becomes a permanent thing. It becomes a shadow. And then saya or some siwasho or something, so that can get rid of all these things. The ones that they said, unali obumnyama or something like that, right? Or bagloil or something. Those are shadows that are caused by your wounds. You can get rid of them yourself. You don't have to go to Gogo Ole Wakamo next door. I know. Yeah. You sit down and you find out exactly what is it that's eating you deep down inside. That's where I come in as a relationship coach. That's right. Deep. Because the Western relationship coach, they deal mostly with your mental well-being. They don't really deal with spirituality. So I mix the two. That's where the difference comes with me. Yeah. And I go to generation. There's something they call generational blessings or generational curses. Yeah. Right? Generational blessings is your child grows up, you hug your child, you love your child, emotionally they are well, you cry in front of them, you apologize in front of them, you thank them. They grow up with that. They know that daddy actually, when they've done wrong, they come and say, baby, I've done wrong. I'm so sorry for what I've done.
Acknowledges
their faults. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Whereas more to one thing, I apologize him. I'm not doing any of that. Why? Exactly. Right? Yeah. That's the problem. That's the issue that we grew up with. Yeah. Right? And then the child grows up, they get stunted into that age where they didn't get to do any of the emotional growth. Right? Going forward, to that generational curses or generational blessings, right? Those ones with everything, love, kisses, you kiss your child, you hug your child, you whatever, you sit down, you have this conversation, you go to McDonald's, you go to the park, maybe let's not even get McDonald's, you go to the park, you walk with your children, you just show pure love. Love that's not attached to things.
To any material.
No. Yeah. Right? You just show them love. There's love. Yeah. Right? Yeah. This book is about the mother who was so great. My mom loved me so much with everything she had. Wow. Right? She had nothing. She had no material things. Sometimes we have nothing to eat. Right? But my mom was so pure. Right? I never even went. I was staying with a stepdad. I never wanted to go look for my dad, my real dad, because my mom was there with all this love. right? And then going back, so my generation is, if you can see my daughters, they like me, so full of love. Wow. They like their grandmother. I'm like my mom. You know, so that one is a generational blessing, because our generation will grow up with that. Their kids will inherit that, and their kids and their kids, right? And then there's a generational curse where there was no love. Mom was always absent or yelling or whatever, and they never got to heal the wounds of that. And that generation carries that from generation to generation of yelling and stunted emotional well-being. There's always drama. You know, when there is family gatherings, you know, ditshele, right? That carries on generation by generation by generation until somebody cuts it and say, this is enough. Right? I'm not going to do it like that. I'm going to love my kids. I'm going to protect my kids. I'm going to just give them pure love. The love that's not attached to anything.
I so agree with that, because I grew up in an abusive family. My dad was very abusive. Nano Abujwala used to beat my mom up. And Hanwele, we knew Jorge Faro is going to destroy things. And then, you know, like you say, you know, then I grow up and I'm like, wait again, I don't think I'm going to be that guy. And I'm not going to be like him. I'm going to be more loving to my kids. I'm going to play with my kids. I'm going to read to them. I'm going to give, like exactly as you say, Jorge, you can actually choose to be better.
You have cut the curse. You removed it.
So, I mean, there's a lot of generational curses that I had to deal with. And difficult as it was, I saw what it was necessary. But no, man, wait again. I don't think I want to carry this through to my kids.
Exactly.
And being black is hard, because all sorts of difficult situations we've gone through.
We dealt with it.
You know, over and above apartheid, you know. But I want to go back to you as a child. Where were you born and raised?
So I was born Kosovo comes Mjolo.
What?
Yes.
Oh my word.
Ezindlovini.
Yeah.
At age 5, my mom got married, right, to my stepdad.
Yeah.
And we moved to the East Rand. Kotowoza.
Kotowoza.
Yes.
Damn, all right.
Yeah.
So which one is more homey for you?
Thokoza.
Okay.
Yes, because I most of my adult life I spent it there, right? Nekia comes in Mjolo and all that. But Thokoza became my home. I went to school there. Oh, that's my hobby.
Okay, cool.
You can be able to maneuver. Yeah, yeah.
All right, cool. So Thokoza is more of your home? Yes,
Thokoza is more home. And I moved there, and then I stayed there. I went to school there. Go vacationing. Vacationing. Like you were saying, I used to see my dad beating my mom to a pulp. It was really... It's painful for a child. My stepdad.
Your stepdad?
Yeah. My biological dad wanted nothing to do with me. I'll tell you the story. Anyway, So I understand. I will sit there. We will know when the car pulls in. I will be like, oh my gosh, there's my dad.
We don't know what's going to happen today.
Yeah. And I will run and I'll hide in my room. You know, and I could hear my mom will be trying to calm him down. Of course, he's drunk, right? Be coming to calm him down. And then, you know, go to Thokoza, everybody knew every Friday there's drama in that house. If you want to see a movie, go to my house. So there'll be whatever, we will be running away. Rilo, Emma go some corner and we'll be going to that house. And because we are afraid to go home until he's fast asleep.
What?
Right? And it will be this drama. One day, or some other places, it will be, I'll try to fight, right? Maybe I was like 10. I'll try to fight him off. It doesn't work. Of course, I'll get a beating, you know? And it was really it was tough. Looking at the issue that's going on now with you know, ladies and children being beaten up, being killed, you know, and it goes back to these wounds that people don't want to deal with. I don't want to deal with what was going on with me, with my dad. I'm not blame everybody else, but I'm not gonna do anything about it, type of thing, right? And yes, mom would try to protect. I remember sitting one day looking for a job because now he was having an affair and he wasn't giving us money anymore, right? And I said to my mom, you know what, I need to go look for a job. I really need to go look for a job because we cannot sit in here waiting for his money. When he feels he doesn't want to give you money, he doesn't, right? One day when he wanted to go, he was leaving on a Friday, or was it a Saturday morning? And my mom said, so you're just leaving without leaving us with anything? You know, I know you got paid, Maubani. So he was getting paid every week. He was working in one of those, you know, a gas company. I don't know if I should call it by name.
Okay. All right.
You know, the big gas company. And he was, yes, he was getting paid every week.
Yes.
You know? It's a Saturday. We don't have bread. We have nothing. And he's like all, you know, hlapile, all looking all fancy.
Yeah.
And he left. So my mom says, so you're not leaving us with anything? There was chicken outside our house. He bought chicken. I soup. I'm 13. Ele chicken. There's shebo. You can do whatever you need to do with it.
Go catch it and kill it and cook it.
Yeah. I had to do it. I had to do it because my mom was not well. You know, before I had to go catch the chicken. I remember that day, closed my eyes. My mom guided me, says, the only thing that you need to do, it cannot suffer. You need to make sure that knife is so sharp so that when you cut the neck, it's done. I had to do that at age 13.
Jesus.
I cut the head off of a chicken. At least that day we had a chicken and pap.
Yo.
Yeah.
And then so okay, primary school Kotokoza.
Yeah.
Which primary school?
So the brain. The brain, it's a gosh, what's this section? I think in Tlapo. Well, one of the sections go Katlehong.
Okay.
I used to walk there. It's not far away. First.
Okay.
Right? In a shack. This is the reason when somebody comes here and like, oh, wow. I'm like, you have no idea.
Where I come from.
Yeah. I used to stay in a shack. Right? And when my dad and my mom are having, my stepdad and my mom are having this fight. Like... You know, I'll be outside because now I don't want to be there. It's too much drama. And, you know. So I went to that school called
it's a
primary.
one-room shack, so
exactly.
It's not like you can go to
I can hide, you know, because our bedroom and kitchen is still there, you know. And I went there and then I went to a high school, Landulwazi.
Okay.
Is in Thokoza. That's when we had moved now to Thokoza from Spruit. And then matriculated there. But then my matric didn't look so great. And I'm like...
Why? What happened?
So I passed, but you pass some S or some M, you know?
Yeah.
So I needed...
You just made it.
I just made it, yeah. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's not going to take me anywhere.
Yeah.
I need to redo this, you know? And I went to a finishing school. They were calling them finishing schools. Go around the belt.
Okay.
That's where I did my matric and I got a distinction in university entrance. Guess what? I didn't have money to go to university. Got this amazing matriculation pass, but I can't do anything about it other than going to look for a job.
Yes. And that's what you did?
That's what I did. I went and looked for a job. And job ya tengi, because I'm butchara. I was cleaning the floor. Clean the floor. I remember thinking, oh my God, it's so cold. You know, you're cleaning this. You're cleaning the fridge. inside. And you cleaning the floor, ya butchara. Phela tlamehile o dule le skoon rekiswa nama.
Yeah.
You know one?
Yeah.
Eventually, after a while, this guy is like, yo, I see that you serious about this, you know. Maybe it's best if you upgrade and udule ko sa muchin, you know, the ube kesha.
Oh, okay.
At least that was better. It was still freezing. It's butchery, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember when I was there.
And it made economic sense to have a beautiful lady at the counter.
I suppose so. For them.
Not komorao atlatswa
Fiji.
Yeah.
But I had to start there.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. So you understood the value chain of the butchery.
Yes, I understood the meat cards, you know, what you need to do and what kind of meat, when you're looking at the meat, what is it? Because not all the butcheries are kind of like awesome, right? There are butcheries also about voro. So I got to understand voro, so it's cheap, what they put in there. And I'm like,
how would you voro also now?
No, I do eat voros, but I look. I'm like, which one is the one that I know is as an original meat, right? It's a little expensive than the cheap one.
Yeah.
The cheap one, ibonakala nkare i-grayish. Go na le some dinama tse ding tse di kentswang moo.
Ke bone mabane. I was like, no, Charlie.
Yes, those are the ones. Yes, then don't buy those.
It's got like fats.
Like they put fats, they put body tebe tsa dikolobe, they put all sorts of stuff in it. Nama tse sa sa di batleng. O tla bona.
Ba vele ba great ba kenye ka ra.
Ba etse voros ba kenye mo ba e thole hore ke sa 5 rand ta voros ya teng like
ya phatlo.
Furala. Everywhere.
Wow, man.
So I got to understand that part. And then there was while I was there, at least it wasn't a lot.
Yeah.
150 rand a week. So 600 ka kgwedi.
Yo.
You know?
Yeah. But it got you through.
It got me through because what I did, I said to my mom, I need to go to school. This is not going to help. We're not going to live like this forever. I don't want this. Because like Rona's got nothing to do with us.
And
Exactly. Yeah. And now, teenage pregnancy, my firstborn. I got it when I was 18.
Oh, wow. Yo, that must have changed a lot for you.
It did. And then the daddy wasn't interested.
What?
Wanted nothing to do with the child. And, you know, that's what this book is all about, this love of this woman, my mom. You know, what she did never ever made me feel bad about what she said to me is, Wamana eketo owiyenting earlier, right? Having boys fiddle with you at this age was not a good idea. Right? But she wasn't yelling. My mom was not of yelling.
Okay.
She was talking. Right? And about gonna wait to what I'm gonna do because I want you to go to school. I want you to be everything you can be. I don't like it anyway. And look after your child. You go back to school. That's what my mom did for me.
What? Sacrifice.
She sacrificed. And she took on, you know, this amazing journey, Yamatidiso.
Wow.
Oh, that's my firstborn. Then there's Venus. My dad, even though he was...
Venus is the one I just met.
Yes. Okay. Venus is the one that you just met.
How many are there?
2 girls.
Oh, wow.
Right?
Okay.
So my mom, yeah. Right? Tidudula mo.
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay.
Tidudula mo. And then we are with Venus here. So I go there a lot.
Yeah.
Go. That's not gonna change.
Yeah, it's not gonna change.
No.
Yeah.
And so I took a portion of what I was earning and I went to school.
Oh, you started reinvesting into your education?
Yes. So I went to school. I did these computer. The computer kana go see that popular at that point.
Yeah.
Right? It was still beginning to have Google, or whatever. So I did this course, right? Although my dad was this horrifying person, right? But she loved my daughter. He loved her. He completely ignored me as if I wasn't there, but he concentrated on Tidi. He knew Tidi's birthday. He knew Tidi. He would buy her clothes. He would, phone her wherever he was when it was his birthday. And I sit there and I'm like, okay, this is, I don't understand this, but only, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Right?
As long as Aratangwana.
Yeah. He loved her. I don't want to lie about that. He truly did. But my dad did everything for Tidi.
He pulled through for her.
Yeah. And then I went to a bit of do that education, that computer course. And when I was busy with that, I quit my butchery thing, thinking, can I learn computer? Guess what? No job.
What?
No job. Exactly. There's a computer to switch it on and typing.
Yeah.
So can I just get an office job, please?
My God.
There was no job.
Yo.
And then one day, my uncle's wife, right? My uncle was in our brown community.
Yeah.
Even though it's not really your blood brother, your mother's brother.
Yeah.
Ngwana ragadi or ngwana mbangwane, you know.
Yeah.
So it was that, and then she came and said, you know what, I get you would want this, but hona le mereko. One of the companies called Midrand. Wow, who clean.
Yeah.
At least it's better as a butcher, at least a company.
Yeah.
You know?
I can work my way up.
I can work there, it's okay. And the I went to a third house. You know the nice thing about Kasi is you can go next door.
Yeah.
Next. Moya guy.
Yeah.
No.
Hey,
You know?
Hey,
what's going on here?
Yeah.
Owner, I'm inviter.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So my mom went to a third house and then I went to Midrand. I got a job.
Okay. Wow.
Got a job. Yeah, clean. I remember, mostly when I deal with my clients, I said to them, when you do something, do it with your whole heart. Right? Because you have no idea who's watching.
True.
One director was watching while I was cleaning and doing everything, singing. He called me one day.
A happy person.
Yes, I'm just happy person by nature.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he calls me one day and said, I've been watching you and I was very curious about you. And I went to the HR and I look at your CV. It's amazing. You're so educated. You've got stuff that can take you everywhere, right? Why are you here? I'm like, well, my education really doesn't take me that much because I don't have much experience, And you've just got a good heart. You've got just a good aura about you.
Good spirit.
Yes, good spirit. And my wife's company is hiring. And I had a chat with my wife. I'm going to take you there for an interview and bring you back here so that you can take a taxi home. And you know what happened? That path, just imagine if I didn't go when I was asked,
True.
Yes, that's where my journey started actually. When I got that job, I met my husband. Everything just opened up. Right? I just started climbing and that same director, when he left that company, he called me and said, hey, I'm leaving here. Yes, we went to Olifantsfontein where the PCC Goldie. I worked there as their one of the invoice officers, So everything just opened up from there, And I went. I met my husband. We went to stay in the United Kingdom.
What?
Yes, that's where Venus was born. Just things started to open up. We came back home because, hey, there's no place like South Africa.
Yeah.
Guys.
Yeah.
I do not care, Huruya guy. This place rocks. Yeah. Go UK, and I'm like, I miss Coke. I miss Fanta. I miss Acha. I miss Magwinya. Because there's nothing like that. Kota.
Yeah.
I just miss home.
Yo.
Go UK is so beautiful. It's absolutely stunning.
We're in
But
London,
it's cold. We were in Birmingham.
Okay.
So it's one of the suburbs.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we will go visit London once in a while. But guys, this place rocks. I know.
I
Home
think
rocks.
You never really know until you actually leave.
Yes.
Yeah.
Until when you go out there, when you come back, you appreciate every single thing about this place. Right? We take it for granted, yes. When we stay here, we complain.
Yeah.
Some things, right?
Yeah.
But home, you know things. You know how you saw load shedding. Load shedding. Re na le di-light tse go di reka go Pick n Pay, we light.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In a foreign country, ha go na le load shedding, where do you go?
Yeah.
You know, things happening which you know, I know I'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, I'll go and figure out things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a beautiful eye-opener for me to go there. My husband was there for 6 years. I was there for 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was there for 3 to 4 years, type of thing.
But you enjoyed yourself there?
I did. It's an amazing country to be at, to go visit.
Okay.
Staying there for me was like, okay, that's amazing. Our phone bill was off the roof because I'll phone my mom. I'm like, like looking out the window, some snow. My mom's like, 37 degrees.
That time when
my God.
How I wish I could just be outside.
It's cold, yeah. And I'll be showing her the video and I'm like, look, it's freezing, yeah. But it was I had an amazing experience. And coming back home, I also got the chance I was now starting to be expensive, you know, because of where I've worked.
Okay.
And
your knowledge base has increased.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I worked for one of the amazing consulting firms.
Okay.
That's where I've learned everything.
What? That's
where I traveled. I've been everywhere. I've been to Poland. I've been to Paris.
What?
You know, it's a company that also opened up avenues for me. I got to understand business. I got to understand things. I started there as a receptionist. And then I was now a research analyst.
Wow.
Right? But your soul, at that time, my soul was starting to open up.
Yeah.
When your journey is now clear, even if Oga hola million, when he says it's time, that's it for you. You need to be leaving now.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Especially when you're listening to it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. At that point, I didn't know what was going on, but I would feel depressed. I would feel so depressed. And I'm like, what's going on? I'm earning so much money. I should be happy. What's going on here?
Oh.
Yeah, right?
Yo.
And some things will happen. Things will happen that will make you to leave.
But you've always thought making more money will make you happier?
Because that's what we grow up with.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that you go work and you earn and you buy cars and you pick cars and blah, blah, blah. Yes, you can do those things, right? And then there will be a time when those things will not matter. You will not be running after them anymore. There will be a time where your soul is like, that's it. You've got all what you need. Now look at yourself.
Yeah.
Look at the journey that you were brought here, because we are here for a purpose in this world. Yeah. We are all passing through.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
With what I have learned in this spiritual journey is we are here to learn. We are here to observe. We are here to love, because this big light, this beautiful God, whatever it is that you perceive them to be, right? It is here all the time to guide us, to teach us, to see us. And it's also here as love, pure love. Not love because it's attached to a BMW or my big house or my job or whatever.
Yeah.
At the end of it all those things I'm going to leave here.
It's so true. I think in the last probably 2 years or so, I've been exposed to people who had a lot of money and leave it behind. And every time they died, it sort of made me think, "Gore, and like they are leaving everything behind." And then I look at their family at their funerals. Then I'm like, this person is really gone. And they are not taking all of those flashy things that they used to worship, because I knew them personally.
Yes.
They used to worship all these things, and now they cannot begin to take it with them.
They can't,
You
right?
know, and yet you, as you say, Jorge, you get to a level where you realize, okay, cool, I've worked for these things, but they don't really make up who I really am.
No, they don't, right? It's okay to have these things, to have these beautiful
I
things.
think let's go for a drive while you talk. You can
Okay.
hold the mic.
And you know, I remember this morning I actually asked my husband. I said to him, "Are you? If anything can happen to you today, now, would you say that you have lived your happy life? Would you say that you have lived the life that you needed to live?" And
what did
he said, "Yeah, actually, I have. I've achieved stuff that I wanted. I've met you. I've had my daughters. I'm really happy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not stuff that I'm gonna take with me. I'm not gonna take my car or my house with me.
Yes.
I'm gonna take me, right?
Yeah.
Am I happy about all that stuff? I'm like, there you go. Right? So eventually people need to sit down and ask themselves, am I happy with the life that I had?
True.
Right? Am I happy with everything that I have achieved? But these things that I'm going to leave here, right? Am I happy? I went deep down inside and look at what I needed to look at, and I was happy with me.
Sure. That's
Right?
deep though.
It is deep.
Because we are so consumed with everything that's outside of us, we don't really evaluate our level of happiness.
No, we don't look at it. We don't think about it. We don't also, acknowledge that what's going on here, right? Am I okay as a human being, as a human soul? Because we are all light.
True.
Right? With the journey that I'm in, I've realized that now you don't look at the color of the skin of a person.
Yeah.
You look at their soul. You look at their heart,
their character,
yeah. Right? That one is what the difference is. But rona re sheba motho o na le BMW or o na le some nice house, una kae. That's the first thing people ask. Where do you stay?
Yeah.
You have persons like, I'm staying with my parents, like, you 40.
Yeah.
Why are you still staying with your parents, type of thing? But we don't look at Hori moto o abanele 40 and adula le batswadi ba gae. What is the story
True.
behind that?
Just give me 1 second.
Okay. So yeah.
So you can continue.
And we look at what a person has. We don't look at the heart. That at the end of it all, we're going to move up. We're going to leave this body. That's the reason why this body is buried, right?
Yeah.
This body, we don't take it with us. Just like our stuff. That's like the house and the cars and everything else. We leave it here.
Yeah.
And we take our soul with us. And this soul, we take it for granted. We don't really cater for it. We cater for this body. You understand? We don't cater for the soul. And that's very sad, because that's the one thing that you're taking with you.
But how come, we don't get taught about these things? Because Luena, you had to learn them through a very difficult moment in your life to say, hold on, all these things I thought they were important, they're not really important.
Actually, my mom taught me some of the things, right? But as a person who was not awakened, some of the things I didn't understand. things, and I'm like, yeah, right. Mom, please, right? And I kind of like understood when she was gone. Oh wow, so she was telling me about this. Oh, she was telling me so this is what she meant, 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 right? It was really, really interesting to understand that dynamic. So but most of us, we are not taught any of this stuff, right? We understand that when we are awake, right? And also when you are awake and you don't understand that you are awake, happening that you don't understand.
True.
And you're like, well, why am I feeling like this? What's going on with me? I don't understand. I feel like I'm crazy. I'm going crazy, So those are are some of the symptoms of an awakening spirit, right? There's things that doesn't make sense in a physical world. But if you are awakened and you know that you are awakened, then those things make sense to you.
Absolutely.
I was just blessed that some of the things my mom highlighted to me when she was still alive.
That's so amazing. So how did you then become an author? When did that bug bite? I need to write.
I need to write something.
I need to write something. I need to put my knowledge into some.
Yes. So that happened just after my mom passed on, right? I didn't even think that I wanted to write a book, right? I was just writing my emotions. I was just writing how I feel, just because I didn't know what else to do. This bigger than life person is gone. My cheerleader, my friend, she's gone. Now what? And I don't know how to deal with it, type of thing. And I needed to express those feelings, and I started writing. I just wrote and wrote and wrote, and in that midst of me writing, I'm crying. I'm going through these stages of grief. I'm grieving, right? And at the end of whatever it is that I was writing, one person said to me, but that's a book, this is a book, right? You need to publish this, because it's going to help a lot of people that are going through whatever similar things you're doing. And publishing the book was not easy, because I have no idea what I was doing. I don't know anything. I've never written a book, and I've never really was interested to find out what is it that you need to do, with a book. He'll back off.
Oh, will he?
He'll go back,
Oh, okay.
And then I started doing the talk, and by then I was already a relationship coach. I was already talking to clients and all those other things, And and then I went. I remember going to Facebook, and I said, I don't know how to do this. Is there someone that can sponsor me to do a book? And before I went to Facebook, one of the publishers said to me, self-publish your book. This book is big. I will guide you. And I'm sitting there, I don't know how to self-publish. I don't know anything. What's self-publish? And he, started guiding me. And this person is in the UK. It's not even a South African person. It's in the United Kingdom that says, I read your transcript, just publish your book, type of thing.
Wow.
And then that's when I went to Facebook, and I'm like, okay, self-publishing, they said costs a lot of money. Can somebody please help me? Is there somebody that can sponsor me, and blah, blah, blah. Everybody's like, oh no, sorry. Oh no, sorry. Oh no, sorry. And then I sat down, and I'm like to my mom, and as Africans, there's other things that we seem to have forgotten, and we take Western things, right? My mom taught me that there is a veil, right, between the spiritual world and the physical world. That veil, it is very thin. So the spiritual world can see the physical world. So my mom can still see me, can still hear me. I cannot see her, but she can understand everything that I'm doing. She can guide me, of course, with the guidance of the Almighty God, right? And then I remember sitting and I'm like, I want to publish this book. It's written, Mom. What now? You know?
And then eventually all things came together.
All things came together. I self-published the book. And
what does that mean, like self-publish the book?
Self-publish the book. Okay, so if you go to the traditional publisher, it's like a record label.
Okay.
You go to people that publish your book. They say to you, "Oh, okay, we'll publish your book. We'll do everything, right? Here is a royalty. Let me say they give you 500,000 or $1 million to say there's your royalty for the book, and then they own everything, right? Whatever it is that's gonna be coming, it's theirs. Now they own this.
Oh, okay.
They gave you your share."
And whatever comes out of it,
yes.
Theirs.
And you can't go back now and say, "Oh yeah, now you're paying me this nice big house and a car, and now you were thinking, okay, I'll get royalties every month," type of thing.
No, like
right?
Yeah.
And you can't, even when what is it? Netflix comes and say, "Oh yeah, we saw some book and it's got your name. We want to publish it." You can't publish it without your publisher.
Oh, okay.
Right? Because now they own their rights.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas this one, I can do whatever it is I want.
Oh.
Right?
I see what you're saying.
I can take it to. I own everything. I own the royalties. I own my book. It's mine. If somebody comes right now and say, "I want to buy this," I'm not going to sell it to them because this is my mom. Right? I am writing another book about relationships.
Okay.
So there's couples that I was helping, and they went through so much. And then at the end of it all, they said, "We saw your book. Can you write another copy? This time to help relationship."
Okay.
With what we went through, I'm sure we're going to be able to help other people with the book.
That's amazing. All right. I need an autograph because you were going to give me one of your autographs on your book.
Yes.
Before we work our relationships, Mjolo. Congratulations on your book.
Thank you so very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Abutsipo. And the other thing that I've realized, right, is that people sell, right, to tell you how to self-publish. They sell. They will not tell you a thing. Me, free. I mean, Brown. Yeah. We went through a lot.
Yeah.
So, Mutu or Brown or whoever, if wants to come and say, I want to self-publish my book, how do I go? I'm going to guide them.
Oh, okay.
Free.
Yeah. Does having a title of being an author, because I've heard various speakers and, coaches and say, you need to be an author for people to take you seriously as well. Or not really?
No, I think labeling like that, for me, it's an issue, right?
Okay.
You look at another thing that she wrote a book, so I'm going to treat it differently to the person that does gardening.
Okay.
For me, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Writing a book, yes, I've written a book, the story. You can as well. That guy who does gardening can write a book about their story.
Yeah.
Right? I feel every person can write a book.
Everyone has a story to tell.
Yes.
For sure.
You just put it on a piece of paper and you get it printed.
Wow. This is beautiful. I mean, I have a good relationship with my mom, so I cannot imagine what it must be like for you, just to have this person that you love and then all of a sudden they are gone. It just tears you apart.
It does. It destroys. So for me, it's a journey, right? It needed. So also what I've learned is things don't happen out of the blue.
Yeah, they don't happen just.
No.
Yeah.
Right? It is a journey that was already written. It's a journey that was already there.
Yeah.
For you to walk. So at the end of it all, for me to write a book, that's the journey that I needed to walk, to feel. When I'm sitting with somebody that lost their mom, I would know how they feel. You know, when your mom is still here, when, for an example, my mom was still here, and somebody will come and say, you know, I lost my mom. I will feel sympathy and empathy for them, but I wouldn't understand exactly because I still have my mommy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
I would go and say, oh, mommy, you know, my friend lost their mom. Oh, shame. I feel sorry. Until I lost my mom. Then I saw flames. I'm like, oh, my holy stars, this is how they felt. You know? So walking through that journey that they walked, burying her, this person was my cheerleader. This person was, every time anything happened, you know, I would call my mom first before even my husband. I would be like, mommy, this is what happened. I got a job. I got a promotion. Oh, this is what's happening. You know, that was she used to call me her heartbeat. She said when I was young, she will feel my heartbeat and her heartbeat and it will be beating the same.
Wow.
And yeah, so you can imagine the relationship I had with my mom. We were so close. We were just one piece, you know? Yeah.
So this book is to help people that have gone through, you know, losing a loved one.
Losing a loved one. So what I understood, especially in this journey as well, is going through emotions. We never ever want to go through emotions. There will be parts of where you will be angry. There'll be parts where you feel sad, like other people will be crying. You need to go with those emotions. You need to feel them so that you can be able to heal whatever wound is in there, right? Because it's going to trigger something, right? It's either going to trigger anger because my dad was doing whatever, or it's going to trigger something because I was slaughtering a chicken at age 13 and whatever it is that I was going through, that you will feel that as a human being, right? You need to tap into those feelings and go through with them, and then it will lift them up. You deal with them, you cry, you laugh, you become sad, and you heal, right? Most of the people that read the book is like, wow, like I had emotions that I never even knew that I had. I had those wounds that I never knew that they existed until I read the book, right? At the end of it all, when I was done with reading the book, I'll be sitting there feeling fantastic after crying and feeling sad, blah, blah, blah. And I would go reread it again to understand what is it that I got triggered in.
Wow, man. I see there's a lot of titles, or not titles, but like on your table of contents, there's different chapters. One that sticks out is Mom's funeral during the pandemic. That must have been extremely difficult.
It was. You know how funeral in Kasi, like parties, that thing.
Yeah.
So it was when
this
the
was
pandemic,
in
2020, when we were having, it was
the
starting,
beginning of it.
Yes.
Well, yeah, sort of, yeah.
It was the beginning, and we were locked down, like completely shut.
Level 5.
There's level 5, right?
Yeah.
The last one. Yeah. It was level 5. And my mom was the member of the Methodist Church. So you could imagine when you remember Methodist, right? They couldn't do most of the things. Number one, my mom's funeral couldn't go to church because the church was shut down, right? And then we had the lists. We had about, about 200, 300 people attending mom's funeral, right? But to go to the graveyard, only 50 people had to go.
Oh, yes.
Right? And we had a list. We had to ask people for their IDs, and they were like, you know how we are, got the ID start on, like, what do you want to do with my ID number? No, this is for you to go to the funeral. Why? I'm like, it's the thing. So I was dealing with that. I was dealing with, the journey of it. You know, I mean, I had to go bath my mom, and it was one of the most, I think people need to understand that, especially if it could be your husband or somebody who's very close to you, your brother, your mom, You know, I needed to do that for closure. Because while I was bathing her, you know, I was talking to her. Right? I was talking to her and trying to understand what is going on. Why did you leave? Right? So that comes to a closure. Actually, she is gone.
Yeah.
She's not gonna come back right now. I'm probably gonna meet her in like 40 years or whatever years, right? But she's not here. Right? It comes to a closure. And also when you go to the journey of that.
That must have been difficult.
It was. It truly was.
But did the closure bring some kind of relief to let her go and say she's relieved, or the closure didn't?
You never have closure.
Okay.
Especially with a parent.
Okay.
Right? You learn to live with it. There's times where I bawl my eyes out because I'm looking at some movie and there's something that triggered me.
Okay.
Right? My mom, I used to call my mom every day, every single day. I will call, we'll be talking about Ratsotella. I don't watch Ratsotella right now. I know it's one of the things that triggers me. Because I'll be on the phone with her and she'll be on the phone and like, woo, wamubona mang. Hey, what's going on here? Oh, no. And we'll be talking and, you know?
Yeah.
So she was my best friend.
Oh, man.
So that never end, ever. You learn to live with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure. That's so difficult, man. And I can't begin to imagine. I mean, I know my mom lost my brother and she never really got over it.
I'm sorry.
And so, you know, the pain of losing somebody you love, it's like, it's probably one of the most difficult phases in anyone's life.
And a child.
You
know? Because what I normally said, I'm not saying daddies are not they're not contributing, right, into the child's life. They do contribute a great deal emotionally. But the mom, remember, when the child is inside, that's the depth of the bond. You know, that child is attached to the mom in an umbilical cord, right? That's why most of the people will say when you're very close to your mom, oh, just cut the umbilical cord already. You know, cut the cord already. You know, that's the depth. Right? When a mom loses their child, it's devastating because of that bond.
True.
Right? So you learn to live with it. You learn to go on because it's got other children. She's got other kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, definitely. All right. So can I have a signature?
Yes.
We can do it while we're chatting to you. So beautiful, man. What a story you've got to share, sister. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
Now, you don't have. I think I've got.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Let me go look. You never brought it? Oh, okay.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, you got it. Okay, cool. All right. Let's see that signature. Let's go. So happy to see the book and of course to read it. I mean, I think I'm going to go through it very quickly.
Yes. So it's so
beautiful.
I love reading. I never thought I would write a book, but I love reading. And my problem was, you know, I want to get to the point quickly to where the book is going. I don't want to read pages and pages of things that I don't want to know. So this book is just straight to the point.
Okay.
Right? You read one page, you will get to the morning my life changed forever. You'll know why.
Oh.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
You know? And then the next chapter, you know, brain aneurysm. What's that?
Yeah.
You get to the point. You know, there's no fluff.
Yeah. You don't try.
I'm not saying some other books are fluff, but for me, I want to get to the point where I need to get to the point with the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So where can people get the book? If they want to get a hold of you, get a hold of the book.
Yeah.
Where can they find
so it's available on Amazon.com, but they sell it $30.
Oh.
And then me, because this is very close to my heart, right? I got the bookshop.
Okay.
I've got copies.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. So whoever needs to buy it can contact me.
Okay.
On 081-217-0523. That's my number. So that me and them can have this kind of interaction.
Okay.
Right? And not long, I'm going to be doing a book tour. So I'll be going to the mall.
Yeah.
And people can meet me directly, buy a book, and I sign it there.
Wow, man, that's incredible.
Yeah.
No, man, congratulations on this new journey of just, empowering people and giving hope. Because there's so much negativity going around, we need, but by Longore, they will be able to channel good energy and just be able to show us the light when we are in the darkness. Because so many of us are going through dark times, and then you need somebody who's just going to be able to uplift you and say, it's again, say like, yeah, like, don't lose hope, because you're almost near the light.
Yes.
And, and I think this is why I do this show as well, because it's purely to help somebody who's going through a very difficult time.
It's amazing. I listen to all your podcasts.
Yeah.
And I've shared most of them. Your link to my people that they can go in and listen. They're amazing.
Thank you.
Very inspirational. And I normally say to people, your journey, I can't do this, because that's not my journey.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
Someone else cannot do this. It is purely yours.
True.
And each and every person have got their own gift. Right? If mostly with us humans, I think it's human nature. If I see that your thing is succeeding, now I jump to your thing and do your thing now as well. And but that's not your journey. Why are you leaving your journey and coming here? And what I normally say as well is, we call the God. We say, God, Mudimu, or whoever come, and then comes and sit. Right? That's you. That's God.
Yeah.
Right? And then we'll walk with you through your journey. And then say, Kibana, I would see, and then I leave.
Yeah.
I do my thing over there. And then now God is standing where you left him. True. And then you are not protected. You are in a wrong lane of your journey. And then that's why normally they say, go back to where you left him. Where you left him. Right? Where you ask him to be at. And then when I was detour. Hey, you detour, you go there, and then you sit there like, I understand which ones are like, no, this is your doing. You left.
Yeah.
You left your journey, you left your lane, and you went to someone else's lane where you were not supposed to be at.
Absolutely.
In the first place.
Absolutely true. All right, so I wanted to come back to your other responsibility of helping people and relationships. People, I see there's a new thing, Mjolo or something like that. Yeah.
But
people have been burnt by relationship. People have complained about relationship. I know a lot of single women who they're like, where are the men? Where are the good men? Like, what happened? Like, why are things the way they are?
But then you also attract what you feel.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You go, like I was saying, the minute you work on yourself, the minute you start thinking about what is it that I want for me, right? I want my own house. I want my own car. I give at least those are not your stuff. They are his stuff.
True.
Right? That's why because then you went in there with a whatever onoibatla.
Yeah.
Whereas how thola onale ntho tsa ntate Moyo o ntho ke sebetsa ke tshebeletsa, and I wasn't in a space where I was looking for anything.
Yeah.
Right? I was just thinking, okay, nice. So ke tlo thola mmereko o mucha. Nice. That's I'm gonna do this for my mom's house. I'm gonna do this for myself. I'm gonna do this, and then later on that's when I met him. That's because I attracted those things to myself. Those were things that I wanted for me.
Yeah.
Right? Ke batla ntlo ya ka, ke batla koloi ya ka, ke batla go ya ko mothong o le o na leng 5 million ya gae, o kinana ka reng o tlo fa half of whatever. Flames.
Yeah.
That's not how the universe works.
Yeah.
The universe works on your timetable. The minute you say to yourself, I want things for myself, right? I'm going to work on my own being. Give it a better version of myself. That's where you attract the better version of the other person. Right? How tlo batla wa miriri ke batla ona le miriri a tloketsa miriri antekele eng ke a utlwa le montong this other program e ya go Mjolo ba re keng kana ba re keng not you Mjolo hona le engwe ya Mjolo 99 hona le engwe mo ba mingle and single and mingle and something.
Oh yes, yeah.
The minute they sit unemoto like
they change.
no, they asking the guy unemoto driver in like
yeah.
But you don't have your own car. Why would you ask someone else if they got a car? Why don't you say I'm working to get my own car. I'm working to get my own house. Then you will attract somebody almost same path. Then two halves they done the same things for themselves. They are kopan. And then you make this powerful couple.
So are relationships difficult, or are we personally having bad relationships with ourselves and therefore we are
radiating attract those? Yes.
Okay.
It starts with you.
Okay.
Right? And it starts with your generation.
All right. How does
Going
the generation
back, right? The relationship between your mom and your dad.
Okay.
Right? The relationship between the siblings. Right? It starts at home. Charity starts at home. It starts with me. How do I relate with someone else? How do I relate with my sister? How do I relate with my mom, my dad? How do I relate with my friends? Right? I could be having a sister that's out of control, right? But how do I relate? It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with me as a person. What is it that she triggers in me? Right? Do I become angry and blow the top? You cannot. Because
yeah.
You can go and make your rules over there at your own house, right? Or you sit down with your sister and have a conversation that's productive and that's going to be well for both of you. I'll see. You can't be coming at this hour. Our parents are sleeping. Right? So you are pointing things at your sisters which is in your eye too.
True.
Right? Yeah. So it's the relationship with self. Well, normally I said it's relationship with God, whoever you perceive God to be, right? And relationship with self and then with the others. So you love God. That's my motto. I love God, myself, and then the others, because I can't give what I don't have.
You can't give your oxygen. Yeah. You can't, like they do in an aeroplane, Barry, if there's an emergency, you first put on a mask on yourself before you put on somebody
on the others, right? Because I'm not going to be able to help anyone in the flight.
True.
So you cannot give what you don't have. If I don't have heart, if I don't have love in my heart, in my inner being, how do I radiate it to anyone else?
So how do you deal with, let's say, okay, so you've attracted this person, you are together in a relationship, what you've attracted is not what you signed up for. Meaning, if you look at the state of relationships or marriages at the moment, there's a high divorce rate. People have extravagant weddings, and for whatever reason, right? But then to say, hey, because I always say, like, to people who just getting married, I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna be a party pooper or anything, but the wedding part is probably just that, like, probably not even 10% of what marriage is about.
No, it's not.
So you go all big on that.
Yes. And then you forget the journey.
The journey,
right?
This thing is a marathon. Yeah. It's a journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a journey, right?
Yeah.
And normally I said to newlyweds, do the premarital counseling first.
Okay.
So that you understand who you're marrying. Because after some 2 months, you now you seeing. So the window body lion, body mamang, libabang body weavy by mimole, motwa motsebi, hatim na wetang, like He's having this pumped up energy now. All of a sudden, so McDonald's. Say, who am McDonald's all the time, right? Now you got to understand who is it that I'm marrying, right? What issues? Not saying that you must dump him personality issues. Work on the issues together. Right? So that you become this strong, powerful couple when you are getting le palama treni ele ya bophelo now. You know? Go stationing mo le qale pele, le dule mo le take the exam, le thole ditekete tsa lona, le thole merwalo ya lona, everything that you need for the journey. Bo metsi, bo di sandwich, because o ka se kene mo le ka di kwai le eng mo training e ha ona dijo ha ona eng ha ona anything, and then mo tsile mo tlabe o lapile like so shebile ka window re ke mang ona leng some sandwich amphe. Do you understand that? So yes, because then the other problem that I've identified when I was dealing with these couples is there's 3 main buckets that causes havoc in a marriage, right? It is number 1, communication is the top of it, right?
So true.
Communication, and then finances and sex.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Okay.
So communication, rajol, right? How do you engage, right? I mean, I'm not gonna say that look, kaofela batho ba etsa le nna. Like you kind of like pop yourself up. You gamorata, like I'm not telling him some of the things. Say whatever, right? Or like go yesu come on kila bona khonale, I don't know. Re jetisa morogo ya mo every night because now we have nothing. Right? And libana. So communication. So my husband knew that I had a baby day 1 on a date. Like I've got my daughter. Right? My daughter, she's a part of me, and my mom. Right? You need to know about those 2 people are very important to me.
It's clear.
It's clear. If I know bereka, now. Right? No matter how much I like you, right? These are my terms and conditions. You tell me now your terms and conditions. Yes. Right? And then those Baba, there were couples batlang gore monna tenga ngazi ngomntana ke sina 2 years in a marriage, like so javela mntana lo, like what the heck, mom? What did you like it's on the first date, you know, go to the dad, like anyway. So communication, it is the building block. It is the foundation. You know, because if the communication, i.e., or the foundation is not there, that house of cards is going to fall.
Absolutely. And communication, it's really being able to talk and to listen.
Yes,
to each other.
Right. And that's also it's broad. It wrapped up a lot of things, right? Hori, also when I tell you about my feelings, how I'm feeling, how do you take it?
True.
Right? So you find that in relationship, when somebody comes and say, I feel you've hurt me, blah blah. Hey. Angikhulumi ngalezo zinto lezo. Hey, khumele drama, because the other person don't want to deal with their own feelings.
True.
Right? Don't want to go deep down inside and say, okay, she's feeling this. If I make her feel like that, what does that mean for me? What does it mean for, you know? We explore that, we sit down and we go deep down inside and say, okay, you feeling like this, right? So I made you feel, number 1, we acknowledge. If you come and said, baby, you made me feel like this, or izolo ekseni abangani bami laphana, what you said made me feel. As your person, I need to say, I'm so sorry about that. I didn't realize that made you feel like that. However, this, first you acknowledge your feelings. You understand? Those feelings are yours. It's nothing to do with me. But you need to acknowledge them and say, I acknowledge you, Guti. I made you feel bad. I'm so sorry about that. Kodwa, bebahleli lapha na badlala ibhola ngasemnyango, uke wabona bebazophula ama-window. Do you understand? Do you see the difference?
Now you explain,
Yes. Not, yes, sis. Abangani bakho laba baqala bajwayele lana, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Right? You don't acknowledge anything.
True.
Instead, you bulldoze me into understanding your version. Yes, but yes, they might have been there, baba pala polo and stuff. But that's not the point. The point is how we communicate about it.
Yeah.
Then it goes to money, it goes to sex, it goes to a lot of other things, right?
Yeah.
Dancing, love. And then now we go and we do things that couples do. And I feel, I didn't get anywhere with this guy, but Tomba Mudim.
Yeah.
But when now you got there, you all fancy, you all okay, ooh, nice, you know. But instead of us saying, so how do you feel? Did you feel you reach where you needed to reach Cape Town? Did we get there? Type of thing. No.
It doesn't work like that.
You made angitholanga next. Uyojwetsa abangani bayi instead of telling that person ukuthi yazi angifikanga laphana kuleya ndawo layana la ufanele ungifikise khona. There's other means, right? To do certain things, how do we play? That's where the closeness come, right? And then you play, and it also heightens your energies. Yes, sis, besidlala nomuntu wami. Yes, sis. No, ngilojwetsa Pinky. Akangifikisanga ndawo mina. Angazi nokuthi besenzani nalowo muntu loyana. Guess what? Pinky, the very Pinky. Unalesa eye for my man.
No.
You kill that one. Then it becomes this thing. Now a friend will come to you. Pelu Pinky, awuzange ungifikise laphayana. Yenza so. Wena so bana. Oh, okay. So Pinky understand what I need to know. Ole no. Then that's where cheating starts.
Yeah.
Right? It begins like that. But whereas when you are a couple and you are into this space where you communicate and you close ranks amongst the two of you, no one, I can promise you, no one will get in there being the third person because you have the communication, you have the honesty, you have everything that a couple needs. And I think it really isn't, is to communicate how you feel. And don't drag things along. How so feel like relationship and it's not working for me. Don't string one about two along. Be honest and say, babe, this is not working for me. I'm so sorry about this. I know this has hurt you. I know we've gone through this, but this is not doing anything for me. Oh, okay. Should we go in long? Unfortunately, becomes this long thing. They are for the therapy and this and this. Hence, I'm saying start first with therapy.
Yeah.
Right? Premarital therapy.
Because, and you're quite right. Because most people start first, the love first. Got this fuzzy feeling of, hey, yes, I'm so in love. Yes, I'm just thinking of this person. But you don't actually think, let's see if this person is a right fit for me. Let's do the counseling so that we get all the baggage out.
Yeah.
We cry together.
Exactly.
We see, but we just jump into this whole thing.
The last part of it.
Yeah.
We all did that.
Yeah.
We all did that. I got to understand the version of the marriage I didn't want with my parents, my mom and my stepdad.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. Seeing that, and I'm like, yeah. I don't want this.
It's not for me.
Right?
Yeah.
And I got to understand the man that I wanted. Right? Okay. And I got to understand what is it that I need to do to attract that. My mom had already told me about, I don't know if you've heard about something they call the law of attraction.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. That law of attraction. My mom was already practicing that without me knowing it. Before she already knew the secret. Like good thoughts, good words, a good brings in a good everything. So what you think, what you say, will bring out whatever events that you're thinking. If you're thinking crappy thoughts, you're thinking whatever, you attract the very same thing. My mom already was telling me that, and I was sick there. I'm like, oh, no. I'm not doing that. I remember one day one of her friends did something, and it was just big because this was her best friend. And then The next thing, and I'm like, what is she doing here? It's like, that's not your fight to fight. Remember, good thoughts, good. And then later on in life, I got to understand also forgiveness, how it works, how it attach everything to those law of attraction, right? When you forgive somebody, it doesn't necessarily mean that you condone what they did or you're okay with whatever it is that they've done, right? You find peace within yourself. You don't have to be friends with them anymore, but you don't also have to hate them, right? Because you attract the very same things.
Absolutely. So powerful. One of the things I probably got to read about and understand was, especially as you speak about, how what you're saying and what you think, it's like you're depositing into the ether and then it comes back right at you. And one of the books I was reading, it's actually called Think and Grow Rich. And they give an analogy about the guy who discovered radio waves, and they were saying, Jorge, the radio waves, we can't see them with an eye,
but they're there.
And then so when he discovered it, they were like, no man, how can you discover such a thing? Jorge, if a voice is spoken this side, can be transmitted and be heard on the other side. And then when a telephone came, so the people at the time, they were like, no man, these people are crazy. What is this device you can use to speak to somebody on the other side? And then I was explaining it to my kids and I was saying, like how you send a WhatsApp and a voice note, you don't know how it gets through to the next person. Actually, you're not even interested how it goes there.
You just see that it's there.
You just see that it's there. And then you believe, Jorge, if somebody sends you a video on WhatsApp, you can receive it, but you actually don't understand the process of how it travels outside the ether to the space, to the next person's cell phone, And faith and words are something, and thoughts are actually things that you can't see them. But actually, as you say them and do them, it gets deposited.
That's
and
true.
It comes back to you. And people don't want to believe that. And I'm like, but then here's the life you're living where you're using a phone and a cell phone and you watch TV and you watch live TV, but you actually don't understand the mechanics behind how everything electronically moves around the earth without your eyes seeing it.
Yes.
Or
that
even
is the
faith
truth.
as well. Is that
Faith. Yeah, that's the truth, actually. And the other part that when you are awakened, you got to understand is nature.
Yeah.
Right? That what you're saying. I'm looking at this green leaf right now. I see it's green.
Yeah.
But how it gets to be green, what is going on behind that, right? Yeah. Water, light, but how does that work? What does light do to it? What is, the grass, how does it grow to be the grass? So you go through those things that you got to question a lot of things. You got to question religious. You got to question your beliefs. Your belief system it crashes and you build it again, right? And that's really true, right?
Yeah, yeah. No, so I mean, I love listening to you because you are very practical with just simplifying your message, because I think it's a difficult conversation to have, to talk about things like this, relationships, to talk about losing a loved one and overcoming it and actually becoming strong on the other side of being defeated. Because when you're being defeated now, you are knocked over by life. You don't think you can see the other side, and you actually simplify how people can get over damaged, experiences, and but how can people get a hold of you if they want to book you for like events? Do you come out and speak?
Yeah.
Do you consult on a one-on-one, two-on-two? How do you work?
So I go for events. Somebody, they call me. I've already given my number.
Yes, you have.
Yes,
Are you on
and
social
my
media?
and my email address. Let me just call it out. It's Susan Moyo 217@gmail.com.
Okay.
You book me there, and then I'm on Facebook and Twitter, TikTok.
Oh yeah, you're on TikTok.
I haven't done anything special. I think I've just put a voice note about something there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do the ones-on-ones, and you can have your one-on-one free because now you're getting this as well.
Ah, okay.
So if there is something that you need to offload and you need guidance on it,
okay,
I'm here.
Okay.
Or the babies, know, because the other thing that we don't seem to understand is that our children, they're humans, right? And they go through every single thing. When you're stressed about something, they sense it. True. Right? They're still pure. They're not in the age where they're like, oh yeah, I know about these things. You are this big hero to them. And whatever it is you go through, they go through. Okay. Right? Without you understanding. Okay, I've hurt them. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Without saying anything, maybe they wanted to talk to you about something or they went somewhere and then because you were busy, you kind of like ignored them. So once in a while, we need to check up with our babies. True. Right? Sit down, take your phone will be there when you're done for 5 minutes with your child to say, how was your day today? Right? Did you, that's where you find out about bullying as well. That's where you find out about abuse, by having these conversations with your child. So true. So put the phone down and have 5 minutes with your babies. And with your partner in a relationship as well. With your with your partner is more than 5 minutes. With your partner is 5 minutes because we get into a rut. Right, in a relationship, it becomes we normalize not talking. We normalize with oh no, ngikhathele namhlanje. And ladies, the headache part. Really now? Come on now. I have a headache today, so I'm not doing any of that stuff. Tell him to say, honey, today I had a really, really hard day. Is there some other way I could be able to help you? But to be honest, I'm not going to be in the mood like I did 2 weeks ago, right? Can we find another way? Don't, right? Have a conversation, talk. Absolutely. Can he come and say hello? He looks at the time. He's like, I hope this is not going to take too long. How are you, sir? You open the door, baby. You just say hello to people. I thought you were in the middle of the thing. There it is. Come. Come say hello. Come say hello, babe. It's going to come this way. How are you, sir? I'm fine, how are you? Mr. Moyo, are you good? I'm good. This is my hubby. This is your hubby. When you see him on the road, he's mine. Okay. Hello. Okay. Thank you so much. Right. Okay, baby. All right, sure. Okay, cool. I really have enjoyed learning from you and listening to your journey. I think you have a very strong message and path to really help and guide people. Thank you. Yeah. Because I was actually talking to my wife last night to say, the difficulty with us is that we are so consumed by, TV, social media, and like rata drama as South Africans. Like things that trend is like dramatic stuff. Yeah. Whereas we're a broken nation with broken souls. And we need more discussions to help heal our people. So people like you are few in between, and all this noise is occupying the space, which is extremely difficult, A conversation like this might not trend, but what will trend is something useless. Yeah. Somebody that is hitting a cat or, something. Yeah. Right? Which is okay. Right? I normally said, eventually somebody who needs to know that the person that the soul is craving for this will get it. right, will get hold of this. And later on, it's available online. Later on, whoever that was looking at the cat trending, the dove flying, will get hold of this. You did what you needed to do. You did what your journey required you to do. That's it. That's all you can do.
Absolutely.
And I'm so grateful.
Oh man, thank you so much.
No, thank
this
you.
was an amazing
Thank
conversation.
you.
I really appreciate you, man.
Yes, and I appreciate you, and thank you for this. I mean, I can't imagine, you doing this every single time with people and having these conversations. It opens up people's minds.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for me, it was also because I realized already there's so many young people who don't have good or mentorship. And so how do we create a platform where you can reach young people where you cannot physically go?
Yeah.
You know?
So your platform, something like this, and also people reaching out online. You know, that's how we can connect. I suppose if COVID-19 has taught us is I don't have to be in the space to reach people.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
People can reach out and say, look, I need to talk to somebody. Right now, I'm counseling somebody who is in Kuwait.
What?
You see? So that's how broad the spectrum is.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah. So you do counseling and then you also do what exactly? Like
inspirational talks.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start now because things have been a little hectic from my end with the book, but I'm gonna go dikolong tsa ko kasi to just talk to people, to students, especially from grade 10 all the way, to say, you know what, doesn't necessarily that's it for you.
Yeah,
right? And each and every person, they prepare their own path.
Absolutely.
Right? At the age where they are, this is the path they prepare for themselves.
Absolutely.
So, to say I come from where you come from, I was here.
No, it's so true. And that's what young people around actually need to build a stronger future of our country. Because I think for me, that's what worries me a lot as well, to say, and like, what kind of seeds are we planting? What kind of young people do we want to see? Because I know Dintwana Tsakokasi, they are frustrated, they are hectic in drugs, they are drinking every day, all time, every day. And they're having teenage pregnancy. And like there's a lot facing our youth in our townships. And I feel like we're not doing enough to change the reality of what our kids are going through, Kokas. We might be able to be privileged to get out of Kokasi, give our immediate children the better future, but
yeah, that's the truth. So I'm also going to start something, to give back to where I come from, right? It's something that I've been doing, right? At the end of the year, to collect diphahlo, around everywhere. And then I know it's not a lot, but it's something. O senang nothing. Like ka Christmas, bana ba bang ba apere diphahlo tse ntjha, o dutse mole, I have nothing. Because tjhelete e ke tshwere ke ya ho reka dijo, right? At least that breaks a little bit of that dormant spirit sa gore o etse keng. Because if you're looking at other people, they're eating, that thing brings out other negative energy. This person is getting this of jealousy and envy, and that energy spreads. It spreads. So I'm trying to bring in those kind of things, and I'm gonna proceed. I'm gonna try to make time as well to see if I could also talk to Bob Pep and them, for uniform. bring it into Kasi. You know, so that's my mission. That's where I'm at. That's
amazing.
That's the journey that I'm gonna try and do.
Yeah.
I will hook you up.
Okay.
You know, and then we can find out also from your end what is it that your people need.
Yeah.
You know,
what can we do together?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I think the common goal is common. We want to help others. We want to help people.
And on that note, there's this. I need to put them on the spotlight. They are just amazing. Okay. So what they did, the youth Yakotogoza, where I'm at, right, in our section, they came together and say, okay, in the morning, my mother, our mothers and our sisters, they go to the taxi rank in the morning and they get mugged and blah, blah, blah. So they came together and created this security group.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So they wake up in the morning, they kappa the go-go's to go to the bus station, to the whatever station, and they protect the community as a whole. If there is your car was hijacked, they've got this WhatsApp number, you send a WhatsApp, they put the thing out, and they've teamed up with some other person. And then we pay 20 Rand. So the whole people for them to get something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
so that is what they did for their community.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That is.
You know, when I drive to Togoza, I don't freak out because I know that I've got people who's got my back.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah. And it's rare because most communities, like you say, those problems are still there.
Yes.
And there's no solution to them. Whereas there are young people there.
Exactly. They said, well, we don't have jobs. This is what we can do. And then each and every resident pays 20 Rand. They get paid.
And you know, like these sort of initiatives, if you think of how much people spend on DSTV.
On KFC.
On takeaway.
20 Rand.
Whatever, 20 Rand just for the sanity of our communities. I think that's brilliant.
It is.
Okay, cool. No, I really... I love your thinking, your spirit, and let's see how we can work together.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Amen to that. Yeah. I'm so grateful.
Awesome. I'm still getting my book.
Yes.
Autograph.
We were talking a lot. Let me finish it.
All right, man. This is how we come to the end. Thank you so much, Osi. I've really enjoyed my conversation with you.
Me too.
Really
it was awesome.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, you need to come in and have lunch.
Oh, man. That's so dope. All right, this is how we say goodbye to all of you guys. Thank you so much for watching. This has been an amazing discussion. Leo Susan Moyo, and of course, I hope you've learned a lot because I've learned a lot. And do hit her up on her social media. And if you do need help, please reach out. Sometimes you don't think you need help, but do reach out for help, and she'll be able to guide you and advise you. All right, man, we're out. Boom.
Bye.